So this is going to be a quick video in regards to Sergey Kovalev and his recent, when I say recent, I mean the news got broke this evening, his recent synthetic testosterone drug failure. It's a bit of a weird one with Kovalev because he's 37 now. You know, he's more or less at the back end of his career, coming off a loss against Sal Alvarez. Had a shaky win against Anthony Yard, and the fight before he avenged a knockout loss against Alvarez, and he beat Alvarez in the rematch by unanimous decision. But yeah, I mean, he's 37. He's tested positive for tested positive for synthetic testosterone. His fight is pretty much off now. But you know, he was meant to be fighting Bek the Bully, Bektamir Malukazev, who was a standout amateur from Uzbekistan, who was actually a career super middleweight, but he was going to fight at light heavyweight. But yeah, more interestingly, this video is more in regards to Kovalev and Kovalev's career. You know, does this foul drugs test put into question his career accomplishments? I mean, when you think about Sergey Kovalev, Sergey the Crusher Kovalev, should I say, it's full of fond memories when you think about, you know, his style, the way he fights. I mean, he's always had some issues, whether it be alcohol related, domestic violence, things like that. He's always had issues, but you know, he's 34 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 29 of those wins by knockout. He was always excitement. He broke onto the scene in 2013 when he knocked out Welshman Nathan Cleverly for the WBO light heavyweight title, and he had a pretty solid resume after that fight. When you think about, you know, he beat Hopkins. I know it was old Hopkins, but it was still an old active Hopkins. But he gave Hopkins a bit of a beating, in all fairness. He beat Jean Pascal twice. Went on, lost to Andre Ward twice. But, you know, he's had a real exciting career when you think about the fights that he's been in, the knockouts. I mean, some of his opponents were sort of grade B opponents, just Cedric Agnew's, Blake Caparello's, Ishmael Salaks, Sillers, sorry. Yeah, I mean Isaac Chilemba. Nobody really wants to see Isaac Chilemba box anybody though. But yeah, it just makes me think: is that foul drugs test enough to discredit his career? Because it's a big problem in boxing, isn't it? When you think about athletes, top athletes, world champions, former world champions, when they foul drugs tests, do we need to question their body of work? You know, when you think about Roy Jones, Shane Mosley, Sergey Kovalev, and there's plenty more before that also. I know he wasn't a world champion, but recently, Big Baby Miller. I mean, that geezer, he if he's not on drugs, then something's wrong, isn't it? Like I think he needs some type of performance enhancer to actually get through the day. But yeah, this was just a quick video just to speak on Kovalev, because I think considering he's probably been the most dominant light heavyweight champion of his era. I think it's a sad way to go out, because he's 37 years old now. You know, if the B sample that Kathy Hoover's asked to be looked at comes back positive, and it's a synthetic steroid, you could be looking at, you know, a 3-4 year suspension, and that would take him up to potentially 40-41 years old. So I can't see Sergey Kovalev's career continuing if the B sample does come back as a positive and he ends up getting a long ban. The testing agency is VADA, so again, they're reputable. You know, I don't know. I just think it's a bad place to be for someone like Kovalev, because I know they're talking about his supplements potentially having trace content in them, but again, that will all get tested for a trace contamination. But if it comes back that his B sample in fact is positive also, then you know, and generally speaking, in boxing, if you test positive, the B sample isn't going to be no different result from the A sample, because I believe that both samples are from one set of samples that are given. So it'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. But you know, Kovalev's he's with DAZN. He recently got, I think, a bit of a telling off for streaming a particular fight to fight fans whilst being a DAZN fighter, and I think, you know, obviously it's an illegal stream, so it's not something that's really accepted. It's frowned upon by the establishment anyway. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens now with Kovalev. I mean, the news broke today, so it's still early doors. So until we find out the B sample and what's going to happen going forward, I can't see really much else to say on it other than, you know, I think if it comes back that he has purposely been taking steroids, I think his whole body of work is tarnished, which is a bit of a shame really, but we'll see. I'll do a video when the B sample comes back out anyway.